friends! My name is Megan and I am so excited to be working with the art card again this fall. Some of you might remember me from this last summer. Now I am thrilled to announce that the art cart now has 4 exciting and fun new projects that we will be giving out at 8 different stops around Madison. So we'll be giving out a new project every 2 weeks. So be sure to keep an eye on our schedule and check out when you will be able to pick up your next art kit. Today we have a really fun project where we are going to be making something called Wax Resist Watercolors. These are watercolors that will have white outlines instead of black outlines. And they're a really fun way to explore making shapes and explore working with colors. All right, let's get started. The materials you will need for this project include watercolor paper, a white oil pastel, watercolors, a paintbrush, a cup for paint water, and if you have one, a paper towel can be helpful, but you do not need one to do this project. Now it's time to lay out your materials so that your artist workstation is all set up. Fill up your cup with water and lay out the other things in your kit, and then you can get started. Your first step is going to be taking your white oil pastel and drawing all over your paper. You can draw whatever you want to draw. It can get tricky trying to see what you're drawing since you're drawing with a white oil pastel on white paper. So if you need to see what you're drawing, it can help out to hold up what you're drawing to the light, and then you can kind of get a little bit of a view of what you're doing. So now that I've finished my drawing, I am ready to start painting. I'm going to open up my watercolor pack and dip my brush into the water, and then you can swirl your paintbrush around in the color that you want and get started. I think it helps to look at the lines you made as sort of guides for where you want to place your paint as you're working. So as you can see, my painting is about to take its form, and my painting will reveal the drawing that I made underneath it. So now when I decide I want to change the color of my paint, I'm going to dip my paintbrush in my water and wash it off really good and then dip it into a new color. And that way your colors don't get all mixed up and you can really make your colors shine brightly and be able to see what you're working on. Now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit so I can show you where my painting's at and some new tips and tricks for other things you can try while you're working on this process. So now you can see I'm a bit further along. I've added some petals to my flower, I've added some triangles to make sun rays, and I've added some vines that are circling around my painting. The next thing I'm going to do is explore a little bit more of what you can do with a resist. So I'm going to cover a painting I made in the bottom corner with this dark blue pigment. And then I'm going to swirl around on top of it with my paintbrush until it's all covered up. Then the next thing I'm going to do is grab that paper towel that I mentioned at the beginning that can be helpful to have around, and you can wipe across your painting. This will reveal the drawing that you made at the beginning. So as you can see, I drew a swirl over here. And the really cool thing is, you don't just have to do drawings for this. You can write words too. You can see I'm writing a word at the bottom, and now I'm going to cover it up with pigment and then wipe it away. Are you able to read what I wrote? If you guessed the word love, you are correct. You can write anything you want on your drawing or draw anything you want. The creativity is all up to you. Now the one final trick I'm going to show you that I think is really cool involves something you've already done. You can take your oil pastel after your drawing has dried and you can draw on top of it and then paint over it and do the exact same thing all over again that you did before. So you can layer your drawings as much as you want to create your beautiful picture. As you can see, when I wipe that away, the drawing is a lot darker and you can see some more defined lines. Now, as you can see, I have finished my painting up. All I needed to do was add a couple more lines and go over some of my colors a little bit. So now I am all done. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a bit more about working with watercolors and had some fun in the process too. I know I did. Be sure to follow our social media that you can see on the screen and send us pictures of what you guys make if you get the chance. We love to see what you guys come up with. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your week.